Sports Betting Illuminated, where we play with the house, not against it. I'm your host, Ariel Calista, author of Sports Betting Illuminated, an AI-powered path to profit, my book, which you can find in bookstores pretty much everywhere, online, through Kindle, Amazon. Super James, good morning. I hope you are having a lovely Valentine's Day. I know for a lot of people out there, you're going to the restaurants or you're going out doing something special, maybe getting some flowers. So I just hope you're having a lovely day no matter what you do, or even if you're just like me and you kind of work through the day and, just do the normal thing. That's fun too as well. So hope you're having a great day. Hey Alvin, how are you doing? Hey Ken, good morning. It's so wonderful seeing you here. And Brian, hello. And Spencer. All right. So as you guys know, there aren't a lot of interesting, no NBA, the hockey, it's the Olympics. So really, we're just going to be looking at college basketball today. This might be a little bit of a shorter stream, but definitely gives you some time after the stream to get all your Valentine's Day plans in, or whatever you happen to be doing. Hey Derek, good morning. It is so wonderful seeing all of you here. Thanks so much for showing up and joining me. I know it's a holiday, so it's just wonderful seeing all of your faces here on this beautiful Saturday morning. Oh my gosh, I think it's going to be 50 degrees in a few days. Never did I ever think I would be excited for 50 degrees. Oh wow, but it's been such a long winter and just so cold. Tyler, hello, nice seeing you here. Hello, Tony. Hello. Hello, Mississippi. How are you doing? Thank you so much. Just wanted to wear a little pink top today because it's Valentine's Day, so I'm wearing some matching Soul Ray jewelry as well. Got the earrings that match the necklace here, and yeah, little pink Valentine's Day look. Thank you so much. I'm glad you like it. So painted my nails pink. No more acrylics, just all natural now. Thank you so much. I'm glad you like it. Oh my gosh, 73 in Florida. I'm so jealous. With all my family in Vegas telling me about how nice it is, and my mom's going to California for a weekend, and I'm just like, everybody's walking around in t-shirts, and I'm not gonna lie, I still don't leave the house without my gloves on, like bundled up. Some like Mongolian wool gloves that just keep my hands so toasty. And I don't know, otherwise I'd freeze without it. Hey Ben! Happy Valentine's Day! How are you doing? Oh yeah, 119 pairs of shoes, that is for sure. I have too many. I was thinking that could be like a fun little TikTok video, just showing off like some of my favorite shoes. I don't know. Notice that's like a little bit of a trend going on. 70 in Mississippi. Oh my gosh, you guys are so lucky. 59 and a half pairs of shoes. Uh-oh, don't ask where the spare shoe went. That happens to me with socks all the time, like especially my fuzzy socks. I'm like, where did my other pair of fuzzy socks go? And then I have to get a new pair, and it drives me crazy. I'm sure if you like live somewhere with, where it's not sunny all the time, that happens with sunglasses. I just feel like, the long summers stretch on, and then you lose all your fuzzy socks. Oh, who do I have for the Daytona 500? Who do you have? That's what I want to know. That's not something I regularly bet on, and I gotta admit, some of you guys are really good at this. In the last sports betting show I would do, Eric would always just like find all these big plus money picks. But I never really dug deep into that, so I don't have an analysis to back me up to, confidently throw out a play there. But don't bet a favorite. That's what you're saying, Super James. Okay. But I noticed even favorites, like a lot of plus money going on there. So, when you do win, you could win pretty big. Oh, okay. You're taking Ricky Steinhaus from Olive Branch, Mississippi. Okay. Gotta support Mississippi. I see that. Do you know him? Have you met him? It's fun meeting your favorite celebrities. Lots of one-off winners. Hey, Patriots. Hey, Chris. Welcome in. I hope you're having a wonderful Valentine's Day. All right. So, before we dive into the numbers, I always like to say, let's sit back, relax, and get our minds right so that we can win some wagers. I have Zope today. It's not a common strain, but it is a good one. It's clean. It kind of has that florally citrus, uplifting effect, which is just perfect for a morning like this. I love that. You grew up with Ricky there. Hometown pride. I love that. All right. So let's get started. Our current ROIs, let's just go over that real quick. So in college basketball, we are sitting at a 36.4% return with a 71.4% win rate. We've played 133 units so far. Yeah, doing well. I love it. And that's all that's really on the board for today is some college basketball plays. In the NBA, of course, there's no NBA today, but we are sitting at a 35.5% return with a 69.7% win rate on 109 units played so far. So it is up there, but we have played more college basketball. More college basketball than anything. And finally, NHL, we're sitting at a 36% return with a 66.7% win rate on 96 units played so far this season. All right, Pebble Beach, some golf going on. Yeah, that's exciting. Who do you like? I would love to hear, Ben. Who do you like? Who are you rooting for? Feel free to throw it in the chat. Alrighty, so let's just dive in. I have my cannabis, my coffee here, and we'll just talk about some of these games. There have been some lines moving, but only a few that I'm really interested in right now. Okay, so starting off with this 1 o'clock game between Kansas and Iowa State. Who's watching that today? I have been watching this total and I've seen it go from 142.5, rise all the way up to 146.5, backed by some money. There is level 1 money, and as you guys know, on the level of significance, level 1 is the least, level 5 is the most, but oftentimes it's just mixed money. So there is a little bit of money coming here on the over. The line's going in the right direction. But these teams tend to play under a lot. Both of these teams, Kansas, Iowa State, they don't tend to score a lot of points. So I'm leaning more towards the under. So when I see all of this money on the over and the lines are going towards the over, I just get nervous because these teams tend to be under teams. And it's really easy to find out like how often these teams are going over versus under. Like teamrankings.com offers a lot of that information, so you don't have to do a lot of like coding, like things that I would do, to normally find this out. A lot of this is just public information. Oh, Tony, you got your wife a new car for Valentine's Day. Oh, that's amazing. What car did you get her? That is so exciting. I'm actually thinking about getting a car real soon. Well, I don't know. I mean, actually, thinking about getting a truck. Like, I don't... My first car ever was a Toyota Land Cruiser. It was a 96 and this car was made out of like steel. It was really good. Like my parents, you know, wanted me to drive something very safe, especially for my first car, and you know, they were really right about that. So this was like in my family already. It was my grandma's car. I got it, and that was my first ever car. I only had it for a few years, but I think just growing up, like driving that around in high school and whatnot, it really made me, you know, wanting to start looking for a truck, like especially now. I don't know. I don't. I do think like I'm gonna be driving probably this summer more to like the beach, like, you know, in New Jersey, Atlantic City. The Champs show is coming up very soon, so I think just having a truck, also because I'm gonna be transporting like a lot of different fabric and stuff for my company Hex Tex. It just makes sense. So I'm looking into getting a new car too. Dallas guys. See, JT Scheffler. Okay, Fowler's playing better. Yeah, Scheffler's. He's really a pro. He really has mastered his skills, and I don't know, he always comes through and catches it. Hey, Cap Spot, welcome in. Let's go. So it's 147.5 on DraftKings. Dang, okay, this total has risen quite a bit, Spencer, from Kansas City, Iowa State. This total keeps going up. A little bit of money is there, but I don't know. It's just these teams are kind of under teamed. So I'm a little borderline, but I'm keeping my eye on this. Was it the number 47 car? She wanted a truck, but none were available. That is definitely a nice Valentine's Day gift for real. I bet she's going to love it when she gets it and driving around and think of you every time she gets it in. That's so sweet. Yes, bar has been raised. I love it. Oh no, the new vacuum cleaner. All right, let's move on to this 1 o'clock game that I like a lot. It is UMBC versus New Hampshire. Now, I have been watching this UMBC spread. It went from -2.5 to -4.5, but I'm noticing quite a few pros showing up here on UMBC. So considering how the spread has moved out in the right direction for UMBC, the pro money is there. I think this is looking pretty good. Yeah, I think this is looking like a solid play. So I'm gonna move this into my immediate like locking this in early pile. I like this a lot. It's going in the right direction and it's backed up by the pro money, so it's going in the right way. Ooh, the Michigan game. Okay, you're leaning towards UCLA. Let me take a look at that. Okay, a lot of you guys are leaning towards UCLA. Let me take a look at that. You know, I haven't noticed too much movement early, but let's just see if anything has updated. Okay, so UCLA, like them as underdogs, are sitting at +16.5. Notice a lot of spots are holding them at -110, -115. They did open up at +16.5, -110. Let's see, you know, the money is looking a little bit split right now. It's pretty mixed. So you know, just looking at the data here, I don't have like a strong opinion on this game just because the lines are holding pretty tight and the money is pretty mixed. I would love to see some movement on this game. I know it's coming up pretty soon at 12:45, but right now I'm just not seeing a lot of movement here. You're leaning towards UCLA. All right, it seems like this is like a chat consensus. A lot of people leaning towards UCLA as underdogs. Are you taking them as on the spread? They're sitting plus 16.5 most spots. You know, it looks like a little bit of money is starting to show up on UCLA, but it just quite hasn't risen to the level of significance. I would like to see it rise a little bit more. But so far, I like hearing that a lot of you guys are on this together. All right, moving on to this 2 o'clock game. Let's take a look at this. Louisiana Tech versus Florida International. This is a 2 o'clock game, and I have been watching the total here. This is over that I actually like. You know, I was looking at the over in this Kansas-Iowa State game, but I'm still feeling a little bit unsure about it because these are teams that like to go under when you expect them to go over. You know, just looking at their recent history, they like to play under a lot. But this over between Louisiana Tech and Florida International, this is an over that I really like. It opened up at 143.5, went up to 147.5 on level 1 money. So right now I'm putting this in the action play pile. That was a big move towards the over, and that's a 4-point move towards the over, backed by level 1 money. And I'm not feeling like as nervous about these teams as I was like, you know, Kansas and Iowa State. I think Florida's going to win here. All right. You know, I've just been kind of watching the spread here, but I don't have a play here yet. Let's see. Florida opened up at -4.5. minus 105. Let's just see where they're sitting at right now. They are currently sitting at -3.5, -3 in some spots, even -2.5 on some like major, you know, national sports books, but it does look a little more borderline for me. And the line's not quite going in the right direction, but let's see like where the money is going to. So it does look like a little bit of money is mostly showing up. Yeah, it's not really showing up on Florida here. It's showing up on Louisiana. It's looking a little bit sharper on Louisiana. So I think in this particular case, I might be leaning a little bit towards the other way, but I just don't have a strong opinion here. It's just, you know, money's looking a little bit sharper on Louisiana Tech at this very moment, and the line is going in the right direction for them. But do I have a play here on the spread? No. But I do like this over. I think this over is looking pretty nice. So I'm going to add this into the action pile of plays. Okay. Oh, okay. I thought we were still on this Louisiana Tech Florida International game. My bad. I was still breaking this down even further. But yeah, let me take a look at Florida. Now that I'm on the right game. But in the meantime, we are going to roll into the 2-minute drill. This 2-minute drill is exciting. It's about AI And yeah, there's a lot to learn here. So if you have any questions, I will be in the comments section, and then we will be right back to break down even more games after the 2-minute drill. And if you have any games that you would like me to break down and analyze live on air, just throw them in the chat. And also, if you haven't already, sign up for my free daily emails just by going to arielcalista.com, clicking the button that says stay in touch. It's free, it's easy to join, you don't get spam, ads, no BS, I don't sell your personal information. Like, it is just a free resource where I show you the plays that I like for today. We go over some of the sports news information of the day. I have a health corner, an AI corner, a coaching corner, lots of interesting newsletter sections to really read and expand your mind and dive deep into the numbers with me. And then a little picture of me at the bottom every single day with these emails. So stay with me as we roll into the 2-minute drill. And of course, we will be right back. Right now, as you watch this video, AI systems are writing code that create other AI systems. This isn't science fiction, it's happening today. Language models design neural network architectures. Auto machine learning systems optimize their own parameters through random grid searches, testing thousands of hyperparameter combinations automatically. Each epoch in a neural network, each complete pass through the training data happens without human intervention, adjusting millions of weights to minimize errors. And in fact, the models are getting better at this every single day without us. And here's what's happening. An AI trains itself, evaluates its performance, modifies its architecture, and repeats, rinse and repeat, finding patterns that we never programmed it to find, discovering optimization techniques that we didn't teach it. This is recursive self-improvement, and it's accelerating. The potential here is extraordinary. AI could unlock solutions to protein folding, climate modeling, drug discovery, problems that would take humans decades to solve. But here is the thing that we need to talk about. The moment we stop understanding the code, we enter risky territory. Current deep learning models already operate as black boxes. We know the inputs, we see the outputs, but the decision-making process in between is often opaque. Though researchers are using SHAP values, SHAP, and LIME, L-I-M-E, to explain individual predictions. But when AI starts coding AI, when systems redesign their own architectures, those interpretability techniques might not keep up. Without human checkpoints, these systems optimize for metrics we define, but not always in the way that we intend. And these systems handle personal identifiable information, medical records, financial data, private communications. When AI systems become too complex to understand, that is when they break in ways that we can't predict, and when real people can get harmed. This is why AI safety researchers focus on human-in-the-loop systems, why they're developing alignment techniques and oversight protocols now, today, and not later. We're building systems that build themselves, and that is incredibly powerful. And like any powerful technology, it needs guardrails. The future of AI coding is not predetermined. It's being written right now by the choices we make about oversight, transparency, and responsibility. I hope you guys enjoyed that 2-minute drill video about AI and how it's writing a lot of its own code, and I'm exploring with this myself. Thank you, Tony. I appreciate it. Yeah, it is good information, but it's scary. I could see that, Ken, and that's why it's important that we have transparency and understanding how, we're able to understand how these deep learning models are making decisions through things like SHAP values. is something we're really exploring, especially when it comes to, like these clinical models or these models that are used in clinical settings, and understanding how they reached the decision they did. Thank you so much, Spencer. And if you guys enjoyed that little picture at the beginning, that was one of the neural networks that I did build myself. Just exploring around with, the technology and, doing different case studies. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. Explainable AI is a big area of research, but not the main. Thank you, Alvin. Yeah, I think it should be a bigger area of research, and I think in the future it probably is going to be. We have a lot of these, I see like in language models, or even agents, you have graphs that people are using to help explain how it's reaching these conclusions. But as of right now, we still need to improve this, and there's a lot of people, I think, who are interested in AI or want to be a part of AI that, want to look into understanding what the outputs are, how the models reach this conclusion. And I think it's going to be important in the future, because we can't just let, these, even though it's great at making these very accurate decisions, we also have to understand how to work these models ourselves. Like for example, this was even part of my discussion question for class yesterday that I was writing up. So I created a RAG-based LLM, which is like a RAG, like retrieval augmented generation based large language model. So I am using either I could be using like an open source model, like some of the Minstrel models, or I could be using like OpenAI, for example, and then I create, a database basically with a bunch of information that I want to input into it, and I just want it to pull from the context that I provide, right? I don't want it to make up things. I just want to see like if it's in the context here. And in that project, I was using the Merck manual, which is, basically the gold standard for anyone who's looking into medical anything. So I uploaded that, and then I not only really kind of fine-tuned it, but then at the end of the day, I'm using the AI as a judge, looking over the answers that I'm getting when I'm, asking for the output. I'm asking a question, for example, about traumatic brain injuries, and then I'm reviewing the output myself manually, but then I also have the AI as a judge that I've instructed to review the outputs and grade it for relevance, if it's relevant to the question being asked, and also groundedness, is it grounded in the actual context, the retrieved context that it provided. And I found in that point, I would get some really good, scores by the AI as a judge. But then when I reviewed with an actual medical doctor some of the outputs, it was well, it's not, even though it's grabbing from the context here, it's not really providing the doctor with some good information. For example, with a traumatic brain injury, it was saying, there is no real cure for that. You just have to make sure the patient is comfortable, but, it didn't talk about anything like stabilizing the patient, if you're in an emergency room situation, or, a lot of the different things that doctors would need to rely on. So, in that context, even though it was getting good grades from, the AI as a judge, it needed a little bit more scope and more, I guess, well-roundedness, instead of just contextual tunnel vision on what the actual output was. So when you're actually reviewing with experts as well, and then grading that also with, AI as a judge grading the answer, then I think you can really reach a real conclusion on what's the truth here versus versus is it just coming from the context, and how well is it pulling from the context, versus, understanding how well and practical this model is actually going to be for clinicians. Yeah, AI designing AI will make it accelerate really soon. And it's true. Every time it's getting better and better, and yeah, AGI is around the corner. I've been reading things like about the cloud vending machine problem. I don't know if you've heard about that, but just look into it and see how like AGI is basically here. We're passing the Turing test, and it's interesting. I'm very curious about what it's going to be in the future, but that's why I like to understand how it works and be able to build the models myself so that, you know, we could have better explainability and transparency. Absolutely. Definitely need expert models, and there are, you know, like open evidence out there. There are some good models that clinicians use that are actually reading all the scientific, you know, data and medical literature. And, you know, I mean, I think that's also a great thing, you know, if you have a whole database where you're able to get all of these journals to contribute all of the new information and update it regularly, like every day, then I think, you know, that probably is going to be the future of how AI is done, because the truth is there are like thousands and thousands of like papers being published, like at least hundreds of being published every single day. So it's always hard for people to go to understand all of that. There's usually like a gap of 7 years from the time a paper is published to the time it's actually implemented to help people and change lives. So, you know, AI could potentially speed up that process, but yeah, the Johns Hopkins work is coming in clear, absolutely. But that's why we need, like, you know, randomized control trials to make sure that it's being implemented effectively, and we're not just jumping to the conclusion that, you know, this intervention is helping or that, or, you know, even AI, like how much is it helping? You know, you need to test it out in a way that just isn't biased and is randomized. But it's not hard to do, and you don't need to invest millions and millions of dollars to do this. So that's a good thing about like technology. All right, so now, all right, going back to Florida, let's talk about this game. So Kentucky versus Florida. This is a 3 o'clock game, 3 o'clock p.m. Eastern. And I have been watching this Florida spread. It opened up at -11.5. It's currently sitting at -13.5, which is pretty interesting. Also, I did see a bit of money coming in here on Florida. It's looking pretty sharp. So at this moment, I feel it, Tyler. Like, I am leaning towards that myself. Hey, taking care of business, Loco. Welcome in. Alrighty. So yeah, I think that's an interesting game, Tyler. Thanks for pointing it out. The line's definitely going in the right direction for Florida, and the money is looking pretty sharp. Looks like some sharp money is starting to develop there. Happy Valentine's Day! Hope you enjoyed my little Valentine's Day pink look. And let's roll on into the next game. Miami versus North Carolina State. This is a 4 o'clock p.m. Eastern game. Miami, this is interesting. Miami went from +7.5 to +5.5 to +6.5. Now, I noticed a bit of pro money showing up here on Miami, but this line has been bouncing around, and at this point where it stands, it's only 1 point in the right direction for Miami. So I'm not crazy about it. I'm not going to add it to the action play pile yet, but I am going to keep my eye on it. But this line is bouncing around a bit. All right, so another 4 o'clock game that I'm looking at here is Colorado versus BYU. So this BYU spread has been going in the right direction. It opened up at -14.5, went to minus 16.5, and there is some pro money on BYU. So I'm keeping my eye on this for now. I don't quite have an action play here yet, but I am keeping my eye on this because this has been moving 2 points in the right direction. Plus, the pro money is there, and I like to see that. But it's not strong pro money. It hasn't even risen to like the first level of significance, but it is showing up there. And yeah, I kind of feel the same way about Florida too. Like the line has moved 2 points in the right direction. The pro money is there, but just hasn't quite risen to the level of significance. So these are two spreads that I want to watch and keep my eye on because the line's moving in the right direction here. The money is there. And seeing a little bit of sharp money on the board is very exciting. All right, let's look at Tennessee Martin Skyhawks versus SIU Edwardsville. This is a 4:30 p.m. Eastern game, and this total is going towards the over. But these teams are very defensive minded. So looking at how this total has moved from 125.5 to 128.5, there's all of this over money coming in. Level 5 over money. It's a lot of over money, but because these teams are such defensive teams, I do want to stay away from this one for just a little bit. You know, just keeping my eye on this total, but I'm not in love with it at this very moment. But it is moving and the money is there. I'm just not in love with it at this moment. But let's talk about a game that I do like. And that is Purdue versus Iowa. This is a 5 o'clock p.m. Eastern game. This total does look like it's going over. It went from 139.5 to 142.5. First there was level 3 pro money, and now there's level 1 pro money, but the pros are still on this over. The money is pretty significant, and I like this over. It's looking good. Hey David, welcome in. Happy Valentine's Day. Okay, let's look at LSU versus Tennessee. This is a 6 o'clock p.m. game. So yeah, this over for Purdue and Iowa, I'm actually putting on my watch list. So it is an action. I'm putting that into the action pile for now. It's looking pretty solid. All right, and finally, this is a 6 o'clock p.m. Eastern game. LSU versus Tennessee. Now, this Tennessee spread went from minus 12.5 to minus 14.5 on mixed pro money. I see, you know, the money is still mixed. It hasn't quite risen to a level of significance, but the pros are in on this. It's not strong, it's not like overwhelmingly sharp, but I do see the pro money here, and I think this is like a borderline action play. Like it's sitting in between like the I'm still watching it and action play piles. So do with this information what you will, but it is looking like a borderline action play. And just so you guys know, you know, there is only one play that I really like today, and that's just this UMBC spread. Everything else is more of an action play, but I really only have, you know, 2 action plays I like. And once again, this Tennessee spread against LSU, this is a little bit more borderline. But if you're a really strong action player, I know we have some people over on Rumble. We have an action player emoji that I created. If you are an action player, might be something, you know, you might want to just do a little sprinkle on. So those are the plays that I'm looking at for today. Let me just run down the plays once again. I like the UMBC spread. This is looking solid, backed by some pro money, and the line's moving in the right direction. So this is my most solid play of the day. It is a 1 o'clock game, so I like the UMBC spread here. Then for my action plays, I like the over in this Louisiana Tech Florida International game. And I like the over in this Purdue Iowa game as well. So both of these overs are developing really nicely, and of course we're keeping our eye on a lot of other plays as well. Tyler was pointing out Florida University as well. That looks like it's going in the right direction, backed by a little bit of sharp money as well. And this LSU this LSU Tennessee game is looking like a borderline action play. So just some things to keep your eye on. But those are my plays that I really like for today. If there is anything else you would like me to analyze and break down, this is a live stream. Ooh, Marquette money line. Let's take a look at that. I feel like I've been looking at like a lot of spreads and totals today, but not a lot of money lines. Marquette money line and Baylor money line. Okay, so Marquette is playing Xavier at 3 o'clock p.m. Eastern. We really do have a lot of we have a lot of games on the board today. Let's see where Marquette is currently sitting at. So I see a lot of spots are holding it at plus 110, plus 115 on this Marquette money line. I mean, I'm seeing like level 4 money on the Xavier money line, and it just looks like this line is going in the wrong direction for Marquette. I'm not a huge fan of this right now, to be so honest. I mean, even just looking at the betting splits, it's like 82% of the money is on Xavier versus Marquette, only 18%, and it's just, the line isn't quite moving in the right direction here, considering it opened up at plus 118, and it's just kind of sitting there at like, I mean, maybe it's moving a little bit, but a lot of places just kind of are holding this at plus 110, plus 115. If I saw a little bit of sportsbook action, like if they were moving the line a little bit more against all of this heavy money on Xavier, I think I would be a little bit more excited about it. But at this point, I'm just kind of staying away from that game. But that's just my own personal opinion. So Baylor opened up at plus 225. Interesting. All right, and looking at this money line right now, looks like so open up at 225, it's sitting at 220, 228, and a lot of these established sports books. I'm not seeing a lot of money showing up here either. So far, just like it's looking like a little bit of a weaker money. I'm not really seeing anything at this point, but that's just my opinion. I'm kind of staying away from that as well. I see a lot of money, honestly, in the other direction on Louisiana. Even though it does look like it's borderline Joe money on Louisiana, it's still, it's still like overwhelmingly onLouisiana. Vegas isn't moving this line that much, really at all. They're just kind of holding this steady. So I think they just want to, see how the money really shapes up. But yeah, I'm just kind of staying away from those for now, in my opinion. But if there are any other games you'd like me to look at and analyze, feel free to throw them in the chat. Other than that, thank you so much for joining me this morning. If you don't already follow my free daily emails, please make sure to sign up. And if you haven't already, tell a friend to join them. It is a growing community, and you can respond to any single one of the emails just by hitting reply. You're replying to me directly. You could ask me any questions that you have, or even just say hi. It's always wonderful hearing from you guys. And you know how to sign up. Just go to arielcalista.com, click the stay in touch button. And that's the easiest way to stay in touch with me on a daily basis. Email goes out every single day. And yeah, it's on track, so has a lot of good sports news, information, the plays that I like of the day, lots of good writing as well, a picture of me every day, so there really is just something for everybody in the email. And I work hard at it every day, so please support my work. Also join me on Substack as well. It is arielcalista.substack.com, so just the same beginning here, .substack.com. That's where you could read more of my writing, or even, you know, support my writing if you choose to do so. I really appreciate everyone who's joined, who's become a supporter, and, you know, it's just a little thriving, growing community. There's so many great sports writers out there on Substack, so it's great just going in, you know, creating a community where everyone's supporting each other's work. Alrighty, so if you have any questions, you know how to contact me, and thank you so much for joining me today. Please leave a thumbs up on this stream if you had fun here, and also subscribe. We are getting close to 500 subscribers on YouTube, which is really exciting. Hey Super Pro, welcome in. We're getting close to 500 subscribers, which is really exciting because that's when I become like an official creator on YouTube. It's been a little bit of like a climb to get there, but I think we'll get there. We just gotta tell a friend to tell a friend. Happy Valentine's Day, everyone. I had so much fun with you. Let's do some winning. Let's put some wagers and have a wonderful Valentine's Day. Seriously, do something special. I will keep posting. Thank you so much, and I will see you all next time. Take care.